So, hello. Once again, I'm back on my old trustworthy Dell Alienware M17 R5 AMD edition. Before I will continue, let me check out if the stream is working properly. I'll go to my default browser, which is Vivaldi. Okay, the stream works properly, nice. So yeah, as you can see, I'm in CachyOS as I promised. Before I will continue, let me show you the system information by using the system settings, then going all the way down to about this system, and here we are, CachyOS Linux, KDE Plasma 6.6.5, the kernel version is 7 something. The system has 32 GB RAM and 2 TB of SSD storage space. The CPU is AMD Ryzen 9 6900HX, and the GPU is also an AMD Radeon RX 6800M. And now let's go in the terminal. Here we are. I haven't set up my keybinds and I have to work around this now. Okay, this will do. And I guess this is fine. So yeah, you can pause the stream and take a good look at the system information. Or later on my YouTube channel you can pause the video. But please pay attention on the screen display resolution, which is full 4K 3840 by 2160, running at 120 Hz. And today it also has a scale of 1.7 or 150% if you prefer. And this is the default. I let it be exactly as it was. I didn't mess around with it. This is how the system made my desktop environment to work. And today I'm recording, as I said, locally and streaming. However, full 4K resolution, but downscaled in full HD and 30 FPS. So yeah, let's go back. If I will be ble to yeah, this is I don't know how to do this properly, but let's just try like this, maybe like, I don't know, this, yes, okay, and then like this, good. So yeah, when you first launch the before I will continue with what is happening when you will first you are booting inside the system, I'll just go ahead and tell you what happened with the installation. One of the most smoothest experiences ever. No problem with my Vento USB stick at all. It went pretty fast, trouble-free basically. I'm using first time ever something called Limin, or maybe it's second time, I don't recall. It felt like first time, not Grab, not something else as the bootloader. And I didn't need to remove my USB stick, nothing. It was just started from Ventoy, installed the system, and went back to the desktop with this app waiting for me. Everything went pretty quickly, I must say. And this one is typical in modern Linux distributions. Basically, you can install various applications. I went ahead and installed these gaming packages. Also, I installed this VRAM management, which, to be honest, I'm not sure what it does. but it seemed quite well to do it. And I think then install apps, it says. Oh yeah, the Flatpak. I installed the Flatpak from here. I enabled the Flatpak from here. And then I didn't miss I didn't do anything else with this one, CachyOS Hello. And basically I don't need this any longer, so I will just disable it from the start. What I did is updated the system using this tool here. I think it also updates Flatpaks. Yeah, it updates Flatpaks for sure. So I'll go ahead and update everything now. This was quite a good surprise. So maybe I will not have to mess around with my... like I did with Fedora with DNF man or in my other Linux distributions. So yeah, some nice good surprises with the system, like this updater. Also, both the console, the default terminal, and Alacrity, these were with the system. Both are using the fish shell, which I prefer, and also they had fast fetch. As you can see, when you start them, they have the fast fetch by default, so I don't need to do anything about it. So basically, I just installed the apps that I use. I first installed Vivaldi, and then the rest of the apps. And the system has another tool for installing apps, this one. And basically you can install from our Flatpak and app image. Of course I went with Flatpaks, and yeah, I haven't given it a proper try. I don't know how it works correctly and all that, but so far everything is smooth sailing with the system. So yeah, what is CachyOS, what is KDE Plasma, etc. Let's read up a bit on the Wikipedia and also on the official websites. So while trying to search for Arch Linux for CachyOS Wikipedia page, I found out that it had, I think, only the German version of it, and then when you try to switch to English, it lands here. Basically, it's the official Wikipedia page regarding the Arch Linux, and it's part of the derivatives and other products. And what it says about CachyOS is here in the bottom, basically this one. CachyOS is a Linux distribution based on Arch Linux with many changes and optimizations intended to improve performance on newer hardware, developed for gaming on Linux, among other things. As of March 2026, CachyOS is the most popular desktop distro on ProtonDB, overtaking Arch Linux. Maybe I'm killing the pronunciation, murdering the pronunciation. Maybe it's, I don't know, CachyOS? I don't know. I'll keep calling it CachyOS. Anyway, this is the Wikipedia page of Arch Linux and the mention with CachyOS, among other Linux distributions. And then this is the official KDE Plasma Wikipedia page. KDE Plasma is a graphical shell developed by the KDE community for Unix-like operating systems. It serves as the interface layer between the user and the operating system, providing a graphical user interface (GUI) and workspace environment for launching applications, managing windows, and interacting with files and system settings. Plasma is designed to be modular and adaptable, with different variants tailored for specific device types, such as Plasma Desktop for personal computers and Plasma Mobile for smartphones. And goes on and has plenty of good information. But let's just go in the official CachyOS website. Performance first, Linux built on Arch. CachyOS ships every package optimized for your CPU, compiled with x86, 64, v3, v4 and Gen 4 instructions, LTO and PGO on top of a custom kernel with a tuned EE VDF scheduler. The result, a noticeably faster Arch Linux experience with the same rolling release flexibility you expect. And then you can click download and get the version, or learn more, click on learn more. And it says features, why CachyOS is different. Most Linux distributions ship generic binaries. CachyOS rebuilds the stack from kernel to packages with modern CPU optimizations, delivering measurable performance where it matters. And it has plenty of good information, and I guess you can have even more information just like with Arch Linux here on the wiki. Welcome to the CachyOS wiki, empowering your Arch Linux experience. So yeah, I'll not read anymore. You can do that on your own pace. But yeah, as I said, I left the system mostly intact. I did very few customizations, like adding the workspace switcher. As always, I'm using just for desktops, for workspaces, so to speak. And as you can see, I have left the bright theme, the light theme that they have by default. Or it wasn't default, I think it was like the dark one, and I switched it to automatic, I think. I don't recall this one. Anyway, and let's just move, because I can't stand this one in the bottom. I'll just switch it on the top side. Yeah, much preferred this way. So yeah, I didn't have much time. I just set up the system. I installed all the apps that I need to have, or the ones at least I remember that I need them. Yeah, LibreOffice, for example. These are basically Hero Game Launcher, etc. Besides the XIV launcher, they came, I think, with the games packages that I installed. But I installed the GIMP, of course, Inkscape, Krita, Discord, Local Send, Parabolic, Vivaldi, as I said, Kdenlive, yes, OBS Studio. But all in all, it had some good, much needed, much preferred applications in the system. Yeah, all in all, quite a good first impression. Regarding the speed, I can't speak about it. I'm not a benchmark guy, but it feels fast, it feels smooth. No hiccups here and there, at least not just yet. And before I will leave, let us go and check out the OBS settings that I'm using now. Here is the video. As I said, 4K, but downscale to Full HD, 30 FPS. And then here's the encoders. I'm using basically software X264, both for the video and the audio and the recording, of course. And just 8000 bitrate. The next few days I'll try to pick up the slack and go and use the hardware stuff. But until then, this will suffice. And let's go back to... Yeah, everything was easy. I just installed mostly the Flatpaks that I want to use and be done with it. All in all, good stuff. I don't have anything negative to say, just mostly the positives that I have come across, like easy installation, quick one, easy updates. Some default settings were my own preferred settings that I usually mess around with the newly installed Linux distributions that I have tried in the past, like the FreeCell, like the fast fetch. But yeah, I have to do plenty of customizations, keyboard shortcuts, preferred KDE Kwin scripts, and so on, and of course the theme and all that. Oh yeah, speaking of the theme, I remember that I used these cursors here, Capitan cursors, or how they're pronounced. It switched back to Breeze. I don't recall this. I think I selected this one. Anyway, maybe it was already selected. Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't notice. Anyway, yeah. plenty of things to come. I'm not going to drag this any longer. A good first start, good impressions, good first impressions. Yeah, more of this in the next few days, and hopefully everything will go well. My customizations, pricing, theming, however you want to call it. Yeah, wish me good luck. And as always, thank you for everything and see you on the next one. Bye!